Hello and welcome to the Tarkus Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be playing RivenWorld. We're about 6 days before it actually releases. It's going to be releasing on the 14th, April 14th. So in about 6 days, the game will be released and you will be able to buy it. And then you'll be able to get onto whatever server. I know the developers are going to have a server kit that you can host on your own or have another entity host for you. And I believe the developer is also going to have their own public servers. So you'll be able to choose between public servers that the developers will provide, and then obviously the choice of having a dedicated server yourself. Now, the pros of having your own dedicated server is that if you want to add plugins or mods to the game, then you're going to want to run your own rig. You want to either have a computer that you have access to hosting the server, or have G Portal or some sort of company host it for you, and then add your plugins and add-ons as you design them, make them, or download them from other people. The thing with the developers uh, servers, they're going to be more tuned to what the developers have developed, the add-ons, their updates, and it's going to be the core of the game. So it might be where the developer may or may not add mods to their public server that other entities have made. I don't know the answer to that. That might happen if somebody creates a mod that is so popular that, why not? And the thing with this game is they're opening the source code so that anyone that has the server can do these things if they know the scripting and understand the ins and outs of it. Now, a lot of the plugins and mods that you see from Minecraft will be similar to what you'll be able to do in RivenWorld. Now, today I'm in RivenWorld, and I just been helping the developer off and on testing when they add stuff to the game. And one of the things they've added recently are NPCs. These weren't in the game before now, and they're new. And what you do is you talk to them by hitting the E command, and they give you an option that you can buy these items from them, or you can sell the items directly to them. Now, in the game, you can create most anything that you can buy. You'll be able to, you'll be able to create these items on the anvil or on the spinning wheel. You'll be able to do that. So if you go and get all the mats and make a bunch of pants, and you got a surplus of let's say you got a surplus of these simple leather pants, you could come to this vendor and sell them to the vendor for 2 coins each. Now the vendor sells one of them to you for 10 coins each. So if you find that it's it's uh, it's easier just to sell things to the vendor and just buy your upper level gear, then you can do it that way instead of crafting it yourself. It's just the vendor gives you an option. Now there's and also the vendor allows an economy to take place in the world, whereas you now have coins that you can just trade with people who are making items on the server. So if this guy's charging let's go back here. This guy's charging 40 coins for this, and it looks like they have a stock limit too. So there's only 5 in stock. So these things might get bought out, and you might have to wait for a refresh time for the inventory to come back, or the inventory is basically as people sell to the vendor. What people sell to the vendor becomes the vendor's inventory. It could go either way. I'm not really sure which way it's going, but it does say there's only 5 in stock. But to buy this, it would cost you 40 coins. Well, if Tarkus on the server made a whole bunch of heavy leather shirts and sold them for 30 coins, then that would be a deal to people, right? So you'd save 10 coins on the deal. So that's how you would undercut the vendor. And then you just make your own little trade thing going on the server with players for the discounted version of it. This vendor here, I believe, is food. Yeah, so you can buy food from this vendor. The food is this one has 11 in stock. Buy for 4 coins or sell for 1 coin. So if you I don't know if I can sell these. Yeah, see, I can sell these back to them. I bought these as just testing. So this is what the coins look like. Now, I'm not really sure if you'll be dropping the coins as part of your loot drop. I thought they were not going to do that, but I'm not really sure. Don't hold me to that. So if you have coins in your inventory and you get killed, you may drop them all. So it might be sound to make sure that you put your coins in a chest just for sake of doing it now until we figure out if they're a drop item if you die. Actually, you know what? What's an easiest way for me to die? I mean, let me think about it here. I can't drown myself because I know, and I can't die of thirst. And there's no one on the server to kill me, and they haven't implemented the deer yet. So I'm really thinking on how I would put myself to my end. And I don't think falling damage has been added. I'm just going to run up here and see if falling damage has been added. Because they've added, oh, this is one of my land claims. They've added quite a few things to the server since I last played. Now, the reason why I put this land claim here is I was testing to see if you could land claim any of the town, and you can't. So at this time, you can't claim any of this town. So if you're going to put blocks in here, the world will gobble them up eventually because you won't be able to protect them. Or people will just destroy them. It stops you from blocking off the vendors. So let me just see if there is fall damage and if I can get myself killed here. Because I would have to starve myself somehow, I think, or die of thirst would be my other way of doing it. I think this would be a high enough way. So let's just jump off and see if I take damage. Yeah, fall damage isn't added yet to the game, which is an easy thing to add. I imagine that's not high on their list to worry about is fall damage. That will come with time. So I can't really see if I'm going to drop those coins or not as a test. Here's the fiber you need in the game. You're going to need a lot of fiber in the game. That's one resource that you'll use when you're trying to make stuff in the game. And as I imagine, as they add tapestries or rugs that you can put in your house, you'll probably need it for that. You know, I imagine they'll have items eventually, what I call fluff in the game, where it's just stuff that it's got no combat reason. It's just basically, it's just decorative. You know what I mean? Fluff. So you got rugs, you got tapestries, you got guild banners, all those kinds of things. Those are, or even a flag, you know, a guild flag that you could hoist up on a pole or attach to a building. All those could use the plant fiber. So there's a lot that could be done with the plant fiber. So this is another NPC. So you just have to go around the town. They don't have any hokey-tokey storytelling dialogue. It's just simple opening the interface. So they could probably add that, or that would be an add-on to give the NPC's personality is, hey, how you doing today, Tarkus? Oh, I see that it's a nice day, and here, buy my crap. You know, they can say whatever you want them to say, really. All right, so this person sells the wooding club. You can actually buy logs from this person, buy for 10 coin. I guess if you just want to throw your coins away, that would be a way of doing it. Yeah, 2 coins for a stick. I mean, logs are by far the easiest things to get in this game. But I imagine if you have a lot of coinage and you just want to be able to say that you can just buy logs, I mean, wouldn't that be a badge of honor right there? You know, I don't have to get an axe. I don't use an axe. I just buy my logs at 10 coins a piece. So there's another vendor in here. And this vendor sells the land claim. It sells the stone pickaxe. And I guess what is nice about this too is, and the way I look at it is, somebody's new to the server. They're brand spanking new. They're a newbie. And somebody just goes up to them and gives them 20 coin. And say, here's 20 coin. Buy what you need in town. And then this way they're off playing the game easy without having to figure out how to make the axe, without having to figure out how to make the land claim. They could just come to this town and buy what they need, and then they save some time because they've got items. I mean, the other way to do it too is that the person giving you the gold or the coin would give you the items directly. But I mean, for me, if someone said to me, Tarkus, could you help me out? Can you get me a pickaxe? I'd be like, dude, let's save us out a lot of time. Here's 5 coin. Go buy one. You know what I mean? And if these vendors end up selling what people sell to them, I can see people coming to these vendors and dumping some high-end tools in here. And if the vendor is holding on to those high-end tools, then people could buy those from the vendor, if that's how it works. I don't know if that's how it works or not. I mean, anyway, how it works now is just fine too. I mean, if it just runs out of stock and then there's a timer that causes the restock, that works too. I mean, as long as there's some sort of way that people can get coins in a game or create an economy where you're not saying, well, geez, I want a pickaxe. I need you to trade me a club, or trade me 90 lumber for a pickaxe. I mean, that kind of gets messy. Whereas if you could just know what the base value is of it, if it's in stock, if it's in stock at the vendor and the base value is 10 coin, then, selling to people for 5 coin, you're giving them a deal. But then if the vendor's out of the stock, then you personally can then sell them for whatever you want if people need them. You know what I mean? Because you could say, well, I want 50 coin for them. And people are going to like, oh, I can get them from the vendor for, 20 or 30. And it'd be like, well, go get them from the vendor. And then you find the vendor's out of stock. You know what I mean? So that causes the economy to fluctuate, because when the vendors are dry, then people get to dictate the prices of items that they're selling on the server, right? All right, well, that's really it. I just wanted to talk about the vendors, how beautiful the game is. I mean, it's looking really good. I'm in, this is vendor gear. It looks really cool. I like the colors. I like the texturing. I do want to see plate armor, like a knight kind of plate armor. I know it looks a lot chainish. The stuff that I made during testing looked like a chainmail, even though it said heavy. I want to see like a metal knight in shining armor suit, and I imagine if you wearing that, you'd move really slow. I mean, imagine they'll add effects based on weight encumbrance eventually, where you'll have so much weight on you, and if you get into a knight's armor and that's 90% of your weight, and then you're carrying around a bucket of water and that's 100% of your weight, so you got your armor and your water, and then you get your weapon and that puts you over your weight, so then you're moving at a sluggish rate just to walk around with the sword and the armor, which would make sense. I mean, how many people do you think are going to be sprinting with a suit of armor on? I mean, the same thing could be said with the leather. I mean, people don't do a lot of sprinting and running in leather and chainmail anymore, but I mean, it's easier going, I imagine. I mean, than having a big metal suit around you. All right, well, that's really it, folks. I just wanted to give you an update, and I appreciate your time, and thank you for joining me. This has been the Tarkus Zone.